Alright, you probably clicked on this video because you want to understand how I'm going to make it to my dreams and aspirations and how I know 100% that I will. And you're probably looking for some keys, some, I guess, magical key, a magical key, right, to get to the top or get to whatever in life. But the truth is that there is no magical physical key, but there is one within you, and it truly is God, right? Whatever you may think of that, the truth is that it is Him that will bring us to those new heights. That's exactly why I have this unwavering belief, this unwavering faith within me that I will make it to my dreams and goals and thoughts. God has been showing up. He's shown up countless times within my life so far, and I already know, like, later down the line, He will just continue to do so, because that's who He is, right? That's what He stands for, right? God is here to help us. He is always for us and never against us, right? So, just walking through this week, try to just really give it all to Him, like 100%. Try 100%, and just see where it takes you. Remember, throughout this month, really, and I wrote it down. I wrote down some things I just want to give 100% of my effort into. And God is literally, like, my faith within the Lord is like the main thing, right? Because He's not like the people and the work and the money. It's not going to get us to, of course it's going to get us like some physical things within this life, these external worldly things, but they're not going to give us what actually has value, right? If we're thinking of it from analogical standpoint, right, we can think of it like back in high school or whatever school you had previously. If you're in high school, it's middle school. If you're in college, it's high school, right? When we were in high school, right, just for me, I was thinking of it, and really you thought the world just revolved around that one life, that you were in high school and that was it. It felt like everything. But then later on into the next school you went into, so if you were in middle school, now you're in high school, you realize that that was just such a small point within your life, right? And now there's so much more to life. And we have to think about that as our life right now, this merely 70 to 90 year period, in contrast to our internal life. Right? So what do we want for that? What type of internal life do we have? Because this small period, 70 to 90 years, that's a small point of our life. And then we have this whole other life outside of that, right? Which is fostered by our relationship with the Lord. And throughout this small time that we don't have a lot of time to do so. We must foster that relationship within God to push us to that next level, right? So when you're thinking about, I guess, what's next, what's the next day going to bring, make sure, one, that you're thinking about that in the standpoint of, whatever happens, what happened within that day, because God has a plan for that day, and you just gotta trust and believe that plan, right? And two, you gotta think of it as, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I'm going to make sure I dedicate, time to my God, like today and tomorrow, because I know that's where the real value lies, right? Because that real value is there for not only this life, but our eternal life as well. I know, sorry for the background noise, but I just know God, He's not only going to provide me for this life, but my eternal life as well. So I wanted to share that with you guys because that's like very important along this journey and goes along my whole more than trading. I want to kind of shine a light in the space, kind of as God shines His light within our lives, just to show that it's not all about making money, right? Of course, I can understand, if you're in a standpoint in life, right, a financial state where it's harder to make money, right? You kind of need to make money, right, in order to survive. That's the reality for a lot of people, right? But we have to realize, even once we do have a taste, bro, we have to realize that that's not it. That's not the end story, right? These Miami penthouses, these high rises, that's not the end story, right? The end story is what's within, right? Our true value, and also the value that we leave on this earth, right? Which also, I really want to get into like charity. I want to get into like giving back. Of course, further down the line, once I got my life right, my family and all, that, and I'm helping you guys out. I want to help so many other people, because there's so many, no doubt. I was just talking about this with my roommates the other day, that there could be another Elon Musk out there. There could be another freaking TJR Trades out there, but we would never know, because they simply don't have the resources to even, access the internet or access anything that they can like do, to make the money, right? So I want to give those resources to those people, so maybe the next Elon Musk that's out there in a poor country, a third world country, right, they'll have the resources to be able to make that, right? Make that lifestyle for their families, provide for themselves, all that. So that's definitely like one of the more end goals. But truly, like, that's kind of what I don't want to stray too far off track. But going through this week, really just hone in and focus on what truly matters, right? And I promise you, everything will follow behind, right? If we stop worrying about, whether we're going to make money or not today, or how many days until we pass this funded account, or how many days until we get that next payout, and actually just start thinking about what truly matters, right? And what we're working towards in the long run, then everything will just start just falling in place. Take November as a comeback month, right? We are really just letting go of our previous selves. All right, October, summer, last spring, last winter, just throw that all out the window, right? Put yourself in a new standpoint, a new point of view. Think of the markets differently. Think of your life differently. Think of your outcomes differently, of what you are working towards. All right, and kind of foster around that eternal life, right? Foster around what we're not working towards within this life, but like our eternal life as well. Okay, understanding true value is the key to so many things, bro. Because there's so many gurus out there, bro. They have all these Lambos, the houses, which is nice and all, but what's internal? Some of them may have that internal value, which is great, bro. But I can't speak for everyone. All right, so I just want to say that, because it's just been on my mind as well. Like, I like to just come on here and just, I want this to be not like, I don't want to be a guru. I want people to like me for me, right? I'm not out here trying to pull on a show for anyone. I do my dances on Instagram because I like freaking dancing, bro. It's fun, all right? And it's kind of funny to like put some controversy up in there, to see how people, go back and back against each other in the comments, bro. That's it's all fun to me, right? And also social media is just like another. I always wanted to, have a lot of people with a similar mindset in my own space, right? And it's kind of like a blog in a way too. I know people don't really talk about blog nowadays, but I don't know. I like it, man. And that's also one thing. You gotta do stuff that you like in this life. Not everyone clearly not everyone, man. If I get a million freaking views on a YouTube or a video on Instagram and I only have 11K like followers, of course not everyone's gonna like me and stuff like that. But it matters like but it's just about if you like it, right? Do what you want. It's your life. And this is the whole thing of this online money stuff too. This is going to give us, I guess, freedom in that standpoint, right? You know, I feel like freedom is not only just about the money. It's about you being able to do what you want, right? When you want, how you want to do it, right? Of course, like money gives us that. Well, I guess that's the whole point why we're trying to make this money, right? We're trying to make this money so we then could use the money to do what we want, right? We don't need to be told by someone else, you know, what to do. We don't need to be, I guess, criticized. And of course we can be criticized, but then we don't have extra financial repercussions from that criticism, if you understand. So that's kind of where that freedom within money plays a part, right? It's not always just about being financially free, but the freedom aspect in that standpoint, where you can do what you want, and even if you are criticized about it, it doesn't hurt you financially. But that's the whole point. Like, just do what you want, because at the end of the day, too, who cares, bro? If it's gonna bring you to where you want to be in life, just do it, bro. Right? And do it all the way. Do it with passion, bro. Don't just do it just to do it, bro. But do it with passion, man. Because we got one life on this earth, so you might as well live it out to the fullest, bro. You might as well, bro. Like, and that doesn't mean like partying and freaking all that every single night. And if you want to, I'm not gonna judge you. Do you? It's personally not me, and personally, I don't think it's gonna bring you a bunch of that internal value we're talking about. And it's fine, like, bro. If you, none of us are freaking perfect, too. That's why I never judge anyone on anything. None of us are perfect. You can even see me like in my speech, bro. I can't speak. Nah, but I'm just playing. But none of us are perfect. No need to judge. No need to, criticize, because we're all living the same. Bro. We're all living the same 70 to 90 years, bro. All right. It's just, of course, some more than others, but like, it's just about what you do on this earth to not only leave impact, but to build that internal value. Because that internal value is what matters, is what counts. But yeah, go throughout this week. Have a great week. Get some dubs. And we'll see you guys all at the top. Because every single person can make it to the top. No doubt about it, right? But it starts with the man above, because he makes it all happen. He makes it all possible. Alright, I love y'all. See y'all. Happy Sunday.